Yo, what's up? What's up, people? It's your man Marv One. I'm chilling with my man Mikey T, the movie star. Stay locked in for everything.
Today, it is my honor to introduce Marv One. You've had over 100 battles with some of the greatest of all time. It's good to be able to have you on the platform.
Man, thank you for having me. I didn't even know I had 100 battles yet. That's crazy.
It's got to be, man. You got an epic catalog, yo.
Yo, definitely. No, I appreciate you having me, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to chop some of these fables up, man.
Now, I'm the movie star, but y'all might remember Marv One from 8 Mile, the movie 8 Mile. I had to throw that in there because not everybody is in the movies with Eminem and all. Maybe you're an extra, but Marv One was spitting bars. And say what you want about the deleted scene, but the DVD made 75 million in the first week.
Yeah,
So let me
yeah.
officially welcome you to the show.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you for having me, man. That's a great intro.
Hell yeah, man. And I wanted to, get your story, you know what I mean? And get an idea of how you got into the game and how you've progressed over the years.
Typical story, man. I grew up in the city of Detroit. Born on the east side, spent some time on the west side, single mother. First of three for her. All boys. I didn't have any older siblings, so a lot of the responsibilities of teaching me, the ways of the world fell to my older cousins, Chuck and Derek. I was really influenced by my older cousin Chuck, who turned me on to hip hop at a very early age. Um, the first song I ever memorized was fucking. I'm sorry. The first song I ever memorized was 9 millimeter Goes Bang by Boogie Down Productions. So I've always been a hip hop fan. I wrote my first rhyme really young. Um, Started going to the studio fairly young, maybe 14, 15. Started battling around the same time. Back then though, it wasn't on platforms or on camera like it is now. It was legitimately just in the lunchrooms or the neighborhoods. And like that's how I cut my teeth. Like that's how I ended up in this space where I can look up 20 years later and say something that I deemed as a hobby or something that, you know, I thought I was pretty good at has taken me around the world. I've met some of the most incredible people. Uh, I've been able to experience things that a lot of people from my city and background would never be able to. So I'm blessed isn't a strong enough word.
So tell me about how it was growing up in Detroit and when did you really get your first start in the music industry?
Um, Detroit gets a really bad rep. People try to people try to paint us as like being very close to third worldish, and it's not that. It has its rough spots like every other urban space. But, I loved it. I played outside, played in the, what I'm saying? I played in the fire hydrant, like played touch football, played everything, did everything as a kid. Um, I went to the studio my very first time when I was 14, 15. I went to the studio when I was 15. I went with my man Dale, who was like my rap mentor at the time. And right then, when I heard myself back, I knew that this was what I was going to do with the rest of my life.
So when did you start to make the path down battle rap?
So I feel like any rapper that's worth his salt always battled because everybody always wants to be the best. We all say we're the best, and the only way to do that is in like legit competition with other rappers. So I just started battling in my neighborhood. I started battling in my school, maybe around the same time, 15, 16, uh, because I thought I was the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm sure everybody else out there did too. So I started battling locally, maybe around 16. I started battling professional, like when I started going out of town, maybe 20, 21. So maybe 2021.
Tell me a little bit about your name. Is your name Marvin? Like Marv One? Tell me how you actually decided on the name.
So my government name is Marvin. My government name is Marvin O'Neill. Um, so for a long time, I was calling myself Marv One, ONE, just because it went with my last name. Around that time, there was a time where I really didn't like it. So I really didn't have a rap name. Like I was legitimately just going by Marv. And one day I got a phone call from my OG. His name was Chris Cobb. He was he was like a mentor to me and a lot of other up and coming artists here in the city. And he called me and was like, "Yo, I got your rap name." I said, "Okay, what is it?" He says, "Every time I ask somebody who won a battle that you entered, the answer is usually, oh, well, Marv won." So my actual name is Marv space WON period. Like it's supposed to be a statement. So that's my name. So I think that's why I kind of take offense to it when people spell it Marv ONE or Marv number one. I even I even saw somebody spell it JUAN like Juan. I'm like, yo, like what? But that's because it has sentimental value to me. And it's just a statement. I want to put it out in the world. Like anytime you say my name, you saying I'm a winner. So that's how I got my name.
You've battled a lot of greats, Head Ice, Charlie Clips, Disaster, Geechee
Mhm.
Gotti. But who would you say was one of the rappers that actually you had a hard time recovering from, or that you would say put a dent in your armor? Unless you're 1,000-0 like Cassidy.
No, so I battled Math Hoffa. I battled Math right after he took a loss to Calico. And I was very arrogant, very cocky at the time, because it wasn't necessarily his best showing. So I took him on his comeback battle. I didn't necessarily understand the type of hunger that that can instill in a person. And I had a tragedy that happened like right around that time of the battle, so I wasn't completely locked in like I should have been. I wasn't completely as focused as I could have been. And math decisively beat me. Like he decisively beat me. You know what I'm saying? And like it dropped my stock a lot. Like I became ice cold. Like I went from being like that dude to like people was like, "Oh, we don't know if he has it anymore." So it took a while to get back. It took a while to get back into the good graces of the battle rap culture and community after that battle for sure. Shouts to Math though. That's my guy.
Yeah, that's crazy because you had faced Cortez, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like you were warming up for Math. So that's
Hmm.
crazy that you say that, man.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely got ahead of myself. And I definitely got ahead of myself in that regard. Definitely thought, you know what I'm saying, that because he had one bad showing, that this was now going to be the norm. And I definitely took it for granted that the greats always find a way, for sure.
So how did you get an 8 Mile? Like who was it that came and told them like they gotta find you for the movie, or who did you?
So the thing about that, excuse me, is all of the extras in those scenes were rappers from the city of Detroit. Like we all went to the same, like we all frequented the same clubs, like we all went to the same spots, and they basically just did like a huge casting call. Like, yo, like come on down to this address and be an extra. It's like so that's how it was. It wasn't necessarily a divine plan. Like I didn't necessarily have to reach out to anybody or audition or anything like that. Um, it was just like, hey, if you're available, come down here and be an extra. Now, everything that happened after was definitely more than I could have anticipated or even like ever hoped for. But the initial thing behind it was just come down, be an extra.
Did you have any relationship with Eminem prior to this?
high and by, high and by, we all ran with the same people. I knew his people, you know what I'm saying? Like they were my people. I was very close with Proof. I was very close, you know what I'm saying, with Mr. Porter. So it was very high and by. I won't say that it was like we knew of each other. Of course I knew of him because he was a star, but he knew of me as well.
So what type of interaction did you guys have on the set of 8 Mile outside of the battle that you guys would go on to have?
I mean, it was really laid back. Like it was really comfortable. Like there were no egos involved. Like everybody like he was really personable with everyone that he encountered. It was a really good experience.
Who are some of the artists that you met on the set of 8 Mile, or what is one of the best memories from the set that you had?
The story I tell about the story that I tell about 8 Mile outside of, the battle is there's a scene in the movie where Proof RIP is battling. And so he does his take, we're all in the crowd. And after they yell cut, he comes down and he's talking to a few of us and he says, like, yo, did you hear it? And we like, hear what? He like, I said my name in the movie. He's like, I said my name. And we was like, what? And he tells us the line of he says, I'll punish rabbit or obsolete future. Punish rabbit or obsolete future. PROOF. And I just thought that was the most incredible Jedi secret squirrel thing in the world to me. Like to have the wherewithal to even in that moment drop an Easter egg for people who are actually paying attention for you to be immortalized. I thought that was I thought that was the most incredible thing in the world. It just showed the power of the mind for real, for real. I was super impressed by that. That's the story that I tell.
And it was dope how when you spit, you actually got to say it's Marv One, the Fat Killers. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Very true. Very true. Very true. I think I may have taken that. I think I may have taken that from him. I definitely may have taken that from him for sure.
Yeah, that was a movie when you said that, man, because it was like you were putting yourself on. You put yourself
Hmm.
on and you put your group on, in front of the masses. That's why I was saying you could say what you want. The movie made 250 million in the theaters around
Hmm.
the world, but it also had a very big life on DVD.
Definitely. That definitely changed my life. Like I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful to be one of the people that they used to kind of like market and push that DVD. It definitely changed my life. Like I can never thank them enough.
So can you tell me about shooting the battle rap scene with Eminem? Because it wasn't one of the three used. He had three. He had a battle that he choked in, and then he had three battles that night at the shelter, I believe, in a tournament.
Hmm.
Where did your battle fit in?
So it was supposed to be just B-roll footage of him getting to those three battles. You know what I'm saying? So that's all the contest was. The contest was just for them to have certain people to compete to be B-roll footage. Nobody would hear you. Um, basically just like a badge of honor to see yourself on screen.
It's gonna be like a
Uh,
montage.
yeah, basically, exactly, actually. So now, super lucky. Ended up impressing the right people. Became, what I'm saying, a finalist. Became one of the four people chosen. Um, and it was cool with me because it was just rapping. Like at that, like have a really high level of confidence in myself when it comes to rapping. So it didn't matter. It didn't matter what. It didn't matter who was in front of me or what the task was. If it was rapping, I felt like I had a very, very strong chance of succeeding. So I just went into it like any other battle. I went into it like any other day. And like a misconception is that, what I'm saying, like I had wrote that verse specifically for him. That wasn't the case. The reality of it is they told us, hey, you got one chance, spit your best verse. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really gonna matter because they're not gonna hear it anyway. And I just. I saw an opportunity and I seized it. That was a verse that I spit a couple times before. It just so happened to fit. I'm a really good salesman and it got over.
So you spit, and then Eminem starts filming. There's nothing happening. The crowd reacts. He's not saying anything, but
Mhm.
then Eminem says, "Let me turn this mic on. Don't think I'm gonna let you get away with that song." Was it planned for Eminem to film a rap at that point, or was it
No, not
your
no,
bars
not at
pressed
all.
him?
I won't even say my bars pressed him. I just know he's a very competitive person. So I don't know if he would have been able to allow me to get a reaction for people that were supposed to be there for him. So no, it wasn't planned. He actually had like laryngitis or something, or they were like trying to rest his voice or something. So he actually wasn't even supposed to rap at all. So that's why you see the people. That's why you hear the people reacting like when like you can't hear him. It's just like, oh well, this is where the punch is supposed to be. So let's react to it. That's all that was. But he a fighter, man. He a fighter. He a rapper. So he
Yeah.
saw the same opportunity I did.
When I was listening to it, I was like, that doesn't sound like B Rabbit. That sounds more like what we know from Eminem or Slim Shady.
Definitely, definitely.
Can you tell me how you went on to become friends with Eminem?
Um, our relationship, our relationship grew from that day, and also, he was really really cool. My manager at the time, Hex Murder. Hex was managing King Gordy, who was a member of the Fat Killers, and Gordy had actually signed to Eminem's parent label, which was Web Entertainment. So, M had actually produced a couple songs on Gordy's debut album, The Entity. So it was just in passing, like seeing him more, like kicking it with him, not necessarily, being starstruck or a hanger on. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like it we became cool organically. You know what I'm saying? Like through that.
You spoke on a party where Eminem walked up and dapped everyone that came to the party except you. Eminem
Yeah.
said, "Let me get a rematch." What were you
Yeah.
thinking?
The party was at his house. I was like, bro, you already won. Like you already won. Like you already won, bro. Like I had to get a ride out here. Like you Gucci, you won, bro. No need.
So, did a battle ever happen between you and Eminem, between the two of you, after 8 Mile, outside of 8 Mile, or before 8 Mile?
No, no.
All right, because I want to clear this up because Benzino brought it up, winning a battle, you winning a battle against Eminem. I was just wondering, was
Mhm.
it the 8 Mile battle? So that must be what he's talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe that's what he was referencing. Yeah.
So let's get into it. Benzino mentioned you in his diss track. How did you feel when you heard your name in a song from Benzino dissing Eminem?
Um, I mean, I don't know him. So I was very skeptical of the authenticity of the song. Um, simply for that fact, that we don't know each other. We've never crossed paths. So it didn't really, it didn't move me one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like I think people are giving him a lot of credit for sounding better than he has over the last 20 some odd years, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't move me. Like it didn't do anything for me. I like the beat though. The beat of that song was really really good.
Did you ever feel like doing a response and siding with Eminem or Benzino?
No, both of those are both of those are grown men with their own issues to work out. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like I know it's just rap stuff, so it doesn't involve me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll let them have their different tax bracket problems.
What do you think of Benzino's Rap Elvis diss track response? Like, could you rate it 1 to 10 compared to Hit 'Em Up, No Vaseline?
It was maybe a 5.5.
Also, I wanted you to rate Benzino's bars on you 1 to 10. He had actually said, "Last time you battled, shit was like 22 years ago versus Marv One. What was the outcome of that matchup? Marv won."
I mean, it was effective. It was effective. Like again, it's really difficult for me to rate it because I question the validity of whether or not he wrote it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't either want to give him too much credit or give a person who may have wrote it not enough credit. So I don't have a rating for it.
So Benzino said Eminem won the first round in the early 2000s and he's got this round in 2024. And it seems like Benzino was calling for a Source Awards like event to happen where Eminem would battle Benzino to determine the third round. We've seen them go at it on diss tracks, but how would a 3 round battle differ from that?
Like getting Benzino to stand in front of Eminem and rap. Like that's what you're saying? Like he would have to rap against them?
That's what Benzino's suggesting, that they actually do a rap battle to determine the third round.
I don't think that would be smart. I don't think that would be smart. I don't think that would be smart pride wise. I think business wise it may be smart. But after all these years of battle rap being as popular as it is and people always questioning, what I'm saying, how M could do in this current landscape, and for him to come back against Benzino just wouldn't make any sense, respectfully.
What's your take on Eminem jumping back into battle rap? Like, could you ever see it happening? You once said he still wanted to battle.
I mean, I definitely I know the competitive spirit in him definitely would allow him to do it. I just don't know if he would have the time that it takes to dedicate to honing his craft, like really getting in that kind of bag. Like we're talking about a guy who sold hundreds of millions of records. Like that's the bag he's in. To stop that, to write 10 to 12 to 15 minutes of material to remember, and like ultimately it wouldn't make sense. In a perfect, not in a perfect world, but like in a fantasy world, it would be like, oh yeah, we got M coming back. But it doesn't make sense.
So I want to talk about Slaughterhouse, man. Can you tell me about working with Slaughterhouse? You were featured on the intro to their Shady Records debut album. How'd that all come about?
Um, Being really, really good friends with Royce. Royce is definitely one of the people that's helped shape me as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like personally and before I knew him. And the fact that they were recording when they were in Detroit, they were recording at my man the Nine Porter studio. So I was just always there. And they were working and they just needed a quick 2 bars. I was there. You know what I'm saying? Like right place, right time. That's what that was.
Like, how did you feel about Joe Budden, kind of coming at Eminem being a harsh critic of his albums because they're technically label mates at that point in time?
Um, I feel like Joe has never been a person to bite his tongue. Um, and I just, I definitely, from the outside looking in, I think it would have made more sense to keep things in house or to handle them, you know what I'm saying, within a smaller circle. But I mean, it got the desired result, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It got to the person that he wanted to hear it. So I guess it was worth it. I guess it was effective.
I wanted to ask you about the 50 Cent 8 Mile TV show that they're talking about. Um, and I wanted to get your thoughts on the 8 Mile TV show. 50 said the show is in motion.
Oh, I knew nothing about it. But I know 50 is doing really good television right now though.
Yeah.
Like 50 is doing like the transition for him going from music to media has been seamless. So I definitely think if he's putting his name on it, it's probably gonna be dope.
Yeah, I think the show could be amazing. Did 50 ever show up on the set of 8 Mile? I know that was right around the same time he signed.
No, I don't remember him showing up on the set of 8 Mile.
50 said the show would be there for Eminem's legacy. What is battle rap to Eminem's legacy?
I think it's a really good. I think it's a really good springboard. I think it's a really good starting point, and I think him being able to take what he learned in battling and apply it to actually recording and like selling records is a testament that talent is the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely cut from the cloth of a warrior, and I definitely salute him and respect him for that.
Man, how could that 8 Mile TV show go on television though? I could just it could be something big, I think, man. It could be something big if 50 could get that on TV. Just seeing how far Smack, has come with URL, King of the Dot.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I also wanted to talk to you about Shady 15. It was an album that you were a part of, Shady X5, Shady 15. On the record Bane, you actually
Mhm.
did some production with Mr. Porter. Can you tell me
Mhm.
about that one?
Man, I was super honored to have helped him with that record. I've always been one of the biggest D12 fans in the world, and when the opportunity showed itself, you know, for me to contribute in any way, I jumped at it, and it worked out really well, and I can say that I'm a platinum artist because of it by proxy.
Was that just acting as was it acting as a reintroduction record or maybe like a memorial style record?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the thought behind it was. I just think it was them giving fans what they've been wanting.
Did you ever get offered a situation with Shady Records?
No.
Do you think 8 Mile helped brands like URL and King of the Dot, which you've battled on quite a bit?
Not those specifically. I think it helped battle rap in general. I think it helped bring battle rap to a more general public, which I guess in turn probably did help them. But I don't know if it helped them specifically. Like I don't think either of those businesses like took any models from the movie or anything like that.
What did you think about Eminem ended up doing the Total Slaughter League?
Um, I thought his involvement along with Slaughterhouse was really dope. I think it I think it really showed how much people really are into battle rap, like everywhere. So I definitely think it was dope that they took part in it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, to ask about this. What do you think about new leagues like Remy Ma having Chrome 23, Easy the Block Captain having the trenches?
I think it's really dope. I think it's really dope because it provides more opportunities for artists to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Like those who've been working on their craft, it gives them more outlets. So anything that can provide some form of light for artists, I'm always behind it.
Could you see yourself competing on Remy Ma's league?
Uh possibly, possibly, Lord willing. Lord willing. I'm going wherever the fights are. So yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, man, why do they always say battle rappers can't make songs? They say they're great battle rappers, but they can't do a song. Math Hoffa got that criticism, Goods, Loaded Lux.
I just think they may have been at the time. I just think they may have been asking or listening to the wrong battle rappers. That's all. Like battle rappers are the most like they're the most creative writers, I believe, like in music, because you have to create a new way to invent the wheel every time you decide to accept a battle. You're not able to really go up there and rehash. Like you can't do a greatest hits. Like you can't go up there and spit something that you spit for someone else. So your mind is always moving, and I think that that shows the I think that that shows the creativity. I think another thing is a lot of battle rappers who are making music may not have been produced. Like a good producer can really, really like someone that you trust can really, really change the trajectory of a song. So I just think they were asking the wrong people at the wrong time.
You know, you keep Proof's name alive through your battles, man. Can you tell me about the relationship that you had with him?
I loved them. That was our Yoda. He was definitely our bridge from being underground to being to mainstream success. And the fact that his love for the culture was so pure, you know what I'm saying, and undeniable, he definitely gave us a blueprint on how to move within the cultures. I truly, definitely miss my friend for sure. And he was one of, if not the best battler that I'd ever seen.
So you think Proof would be getting down with the culture today?
Oh, for sure. For sure, for sure. He was a big reason that him and Bazaar were big reasons that we had battles here in the city before the Smacks and before the King of the Dots were coming here. Like it was them. Like they were usually sponsoring battles out of their own pockets or just like doing events here. So definitely, definitely I think he would be a part of the culture.
Oh yeah, because battle rap grew in such a monumental way. You know, just rap in general grew, that
Hmm.
such a monumental way. I could see what you're saying right there, man. I really appreciate the time on the interview. What do you got coming up in the near future though, man? Are you working on your next what do you got going for your next battle?
I'm not sure. Right now I'm releasing an album called I'm Fine, Thanks for Asking. We just dropped the new single, Rock Nation Brunch featuring Freeway. So that's my main concern right now. The battles will come, but the music is definitely where my heart is.
Facts. That record with Freeway is hard, man. Free had a crazy verse on there. He's like,
Thank
I
you.
forgot I fell asleep in the deep.
Yeah, it's really good, man. I'm really thankful. I'm really thankful that I fostered relationships that will allow me to call in favors like that.
Did you guys do a video for that yet? Or are you planning on doing
No,
it?
not yet, not yet. Laura willing, I want to do one soon.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I was pretty disappointed myself about the Rock Nation brunch being canceled, man.
I definitely wanted to go.
Yeah, man, I wanted to see, like you were saying, I wanted to see the what was it, the lakes, the
Yeah, come
in the
on,
back,
man.
the lakes
Come
in
on, man. Front, come on, man. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to see it. I want to see it with my own eyes.
facts, man. So, what's that project called again? Because I like how it actually goes with the last, the Fat Killers project. Thanks for coming to dinner.
So
Five,
the
man.
the Fat Killer project was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. So this project is called I'm Fine. Thanks for asking. It's dropping really soon on Mellow Music Group. The single is out everywhere. So I appreciate all support.